What if the nagging feeling that you're never quite enough isn't a flaw, it's a trap? You're cruising through life, checking boxes. Job's fine, friends are cool, maybe you even hit the gym this week. Yet, deep down, there's this quiet hum of failure, like you're always one step behind some invisible standard. Why? Nothing's crashing down, but somehow you're still not there. Today, we're ripping the lid off that feeling, diving into a psychological puzzle that's been running your life without you even noticing. This isn't about trauma or big dramatic moments. It's about something sneakier, something most people never question. Stick with me, because by the end, you'll have a roadmap to break free from that mental cage and finally feel like you're enough, no matter what. If you're ready for a truth bomb that'll shift how you see yourself, smash that subscribe button and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Let's unravel this together. Here's the deal. That sense of falling short isn't random. It's not because you're lazy or ungrateful. It's because your brain's been wired to play a game you didn't sign up for. Alfred Adler, one of the OGs of psychology, dropped a bombshell idea. We don't figure out who we are in a vacuum. Nope, we build our sense of self by comparing ourselves to others. Think back to when you were a kid. Your sibling nails a math test and your parents light up. You bomb a spelling quiz and it's just crickets. Or maybe a friend was always faster, funnier, more popular. Without anyone saying it, your brain whispered, "They're ahead. You're not." Adler called this the inferiority complex. Not a defect, but a normal part of growing up. It's like your mind's first draft of reality scribbled in crayon. The problem? For a lot of us, that draft never gets revised. Fast forward to now. You're an adult, but that comparison engine's still humming in the background. You walk into a meeting, and before you even speak, you're sizing up who's got it together. Better job, sharper outfit, smoother pitch. You scroll Instagram, and it's not just vacation pics, it's a mental checklist of where you're supposed to be. House by 30? Check for them, not you. Side hustle popping off? Nope, you're still figuring it out. It's not even conscious. You're not sitting there with a scoreboard. It's automatic, like breathing. And every time you come up short in your head, that old whisper creeps back. You're behind. Here's what makes this wild. It's not about reality. It's about a story you've been told, and told yourself, since forever. Maybe it was a teacher saying you could do better when you poured your heart into a project. Maybe it was your parents clapping louder for someone else. Those moments, tiny as they seem, plant a seed. Your worth is tied to how you stack up. And in the US, where we're obsessed with winning, best job, best body, best life, that seed grows like wildfire. We're fed this idea that if you're not climbing, you're crashing. No wonder you feel like you're failing when you're just living. But let's dig deeper, because this gets juicier. That comparison game doesn't just mess with your goals, it rewires how you see you. Enter Charles Horton Cooley, a sociologist with a concept called the looking glass self. He said we don't just build our identity from what we do, we build it from how we think others see us. Not how they actually see you, how you imagine they do. Mind-blowing, right? You walk into a coffee shop, order your latte, and halfway through a chat with the barista, your brain's already editing. Did I sound awkward? Are they judging my hoodie? You don't need anyone to roll their eyes, you're doing it for them inside your head. This is where it gets heavy. That imaginary audience doesn't just watch, it judges. You post a story online and refresh for likes, not because you're vain, but because you're waiting for proof you're okay. You nail a presentation but replay that one fumbled sentence, wondering if your boss thinks you're a fraud. It's like living with a mental critic who never clocks out. And here's the kicker. No one's actually out here grading your every move. Your coworker's too busy stressing about their own life to care if you stuttered. Your friends aren't tallying your wins and losses. But that critic in your head, it's relentless, whispering, what if they're disappointed? What if you're not enough? Let's pause for a sec because this hits home. Ever catch yourself mid-sentence tweaking your words to sound smarter? Or maybe you hold back a laugh because you don't want to seem too much. That's not you being polite. It's you performing for an audience that doesn't exist. Over time, it's exhausting. You're not just living, you're curating. Every choice from your playlist to your LinkedIn bio becomes a pitch for approval. And the cruelest part? No one asked you to do this. No one said, doubt yourself until you're dizzy. But once that belief that your worth depends on how you're seen takes root, it runs the show. You stop trusting your gut. You don't feel good about a win unless someone else stamps it approved. Your confidence isn't yours, it's on loan, and the interest rate's brutal. Now let's talk about what happens when this system's been humming for years. You hit your goals, promotion, new car, maybe a half marathon medal, and for a hot second, it feels good. You're on top. But then, poof, the buzz fades. That shiny new title, it's just your new baseline. That PR you posted about? Already old news. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. Your brain's annoying habit of normalizing wins and resetting to meh. But when your sense of self is tied to always leveling up, meh feels like failure. You're not greedy or ungrateful. You're just stuck in a loop where enough is never enough. Here's where it gets real. Success stops being a high. It becomes maintenance. You're not chasing joy. You're dodging the fear of falling behind. Mark Manson, the guy who wrote The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F**k, nails this. He says the harder you chase self-worth through achievements, the more you reinforce the idea that you don't have it. Every win raises the bar, and suddenly you're not running toward a goal, you're running from the voice that says, if you stop, you're nothing. In the US, like we eat this mindset for breakfast. Hustle culture tells us to grind 24/7, optimize every second, or we're wasting our shot. But what's the cost? You're not just tired, you're haunted by a finish line that keeps moving. Let's zoom out, because this is bigger than you feeling off. That pressure to always be on, crushing deadlines, looking polished, staying one step ahead, it's not just personal, it's cultural. We're wired to admire the hustle, to clap for the guy who's up at 5 a.m., grinding while we're still snoozing. But nobody asks what it's like to live like that. To never pause because pausing feels like losing. You become the reliable one, calm under pressure, always delivering. But inside, it's a different story. You're not thriving, you're surviving, managing your life like a CEO instead of living it like a human. This is what psychologists call hyperfunctioning, when you're so good at keeping it together that no one notices you're fraying. You hit your targets, answer your texts, show up with a smile, but your relationship with yourself, it's all business. Rest becomes a strategy to recharge for more output, not something you deserve just for being you. Vulnerability? Too risky. It might crack the image you've worked so hard to maintain. So you keep going, alone with your thoughts, wondering why fine feels so hollow. That's not strength. It's a mask, and taking it off feels scarier than keeping it on. But here's where it gets juicy. What if the problem isn't you? It's the system you've been fed. Modern life loves optimization. Apps track your steps, your sleep, your inbox efficiency. Gurus sell you morning routines to hack your day. It's seductive, promising control in a chaotic world. But control's a mirage. The more you optimize, the more you buy into the idea that the current you isn't good enough. Every upgrade, new diet, new schedule says, fix this and then you'll be okay. But peace isn't one more habit away. It's not a checklist. It's a choice to stop seeing yourself as a project that's always under construction. Let's get practical, because knowing this is one thing, breaking free is another. The first step? Spot the distortion. Your brain's got these mental reflexes, thoughts that feel true but aren't. I'm failing if I'm not busy. I'm only okay if everyone's happy with me. Psychologists call these cognitive distortions, like all or nothing thinking or catastrophizing. They're not facts, they're habits, wired from years of chasing approval. Start noticing them. Next time you think, I screwed up, I'm done. Pause. Ask, is this true or is it just loud? Write it down if you can. It's like shining a light on a ghost. Step 2. Rewrite the script. This isn't about positive vibes, it's about logic. Take a belief like, I'm worthless if I'm not winning. Challenge it. Do I think my best friend's worthless when they mess up? Nope. So why am I the exception? Replace it with something grounded. My value isn't tied to my output. It's in my choices, my effort, my existence. This is cognitive restructuring, and studies show it cuts anxiety and boosts self-esteem. It's not instant, but it's like reprogramming a glitchy app, one line of code at a time. Step 3. Ditch the audience. That mental critic? Fire them. Next time you're overthinking how you came across in a meeting, remind yourself, nobody's keeping score but you. Try this. For one day, act like no one's watching. Say what you mean, laugh without second-guessing, skip the filter. It's weirdly freeing, and it'll show you how much energy you've been wasting on imaginary judges. Research backs this. Self-consciousness tanks your focus and joy. Letting go feels risky, but it's like dropping a backpack full of bricks. Step 4. Redefine enough. Here's the big one. You've been taught that worth is earned through wins, likes, applause. But what if you're enough right now? Not when you hit 6 figures or get your act together, just as you are messy and all. The Stoics, who we talk about a lot on the paradox point, nailed this. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Your worth isn't a trophy, it's a decision. Try this. At the end of the day, name one thing you did that felt true to you. Maybe you listened to a friend or stuck to a small goal, that's enough. Build from there. Here's the twist that'll keep you up at night. The system making you feel like a failure was never built to let you win. It thrives on keeping you chasing. More effort, more proof, more polish. If you believed you were enough, you might stop running, and that scares the system silly. Why? Because a system built on comparison and hustle needs you to keep moving. Stillness? That's rebellion. Choosing to pause to say, I'm okay as is? That's power. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind that shifts everything. So, what's the takeaway? You're not failing. You're caught in a loop that's been spinning since you were a kid. Comparison, imaginary judgment, endless optimization, they're not truth. They're noise. Breaking free starts with seeing it, questioning it, and choosing a new way. You don't need to outrun the feeling, you need to outsmart it. Start small. Notice one thought today. Challenge it. Act like no one's watching for an hour. Name one thing that makes you enough. These aren't fixes. They're steps to a life where you're not just surviving but living on your terms. Before you go, drop a comment. What's one thought you're ready to challenge? Let's keep this convo going. If this hit you, like it, share it, and check out our other videos for more ways to untangle life's paradoxes. This is the Flux Route, where we question the noise and find the signal. Thanks for being here. You're enough, and you've always been. Let's keep digging.